Hello, everybody. My name is Christian. I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show, and you guys gonna love today's guest. She's calling in from beautiful South Africa, my favorite place. Been to Johannesburg, had some amazing food there, and you guys gonna meet her right after this. Hello again. My name is Christian, and I'm the host of the Disruptive Chef Entrepreneur Show. And you guys gonna love today's guest. Not only is she amazingly good what she does, she was the South African participant of MasterChef series, so she's amazingly good. She studied food. She studied the rising entrepreneurs of food in her country. Not only has she a story of resilience of she redirected some of her old beliefs, and she's staying true to the vision on who she is even today. So with that, I want to welcome Chef Bridget. Thanks for being here at the Disruptive Chef Show.
Thank you for having me on the show.
So we're really excited. We were looking forward to it, and our audience knows we did something what we call ethical stalking. We need a better name for that. It's a creepy name, but
a little bit.
So I'll keep you working on that. And so the person which followed you for the last 10 weeks, 2 weeks ago, he said to me, Christian, I'm so excited. I have Chef Bridget on. You got to follow her social media. So we checked you out and just been an amazing journey. So, but for our listeners which don't see you, tell us, how did this whole thing start?
Oh, this whole thing started as I was a kid when I started cooking. And I really enjoyed it from that point. It started because my mom was working a lot, and I mean, we gotta eat when we go home, and I'm at home, why not? And from there, I was just experimenting a lot with the food and the dishes I'd make, and started doing a lot of pastries. Baking was really my thing, and I would take a lot of my homemade school lunches to school, and everybody liked it. And from then, I just kept growing and growing in that. I never thought I'd ever be like a chef or anything of the sort, but I'm definitely glad that I found my calling, let's just say, along the way.
That's awesome. So by the way, as and maybe I'm pronouncing this wrong, but it was called Malva pudding as I went to South Africa. And
Yeah.
if anybody ever has, it's this mix of, maybe you can, it's like sponge cake with jam. I think it's apricot jam, and it is caramelized, and it's freaking
Yes.
amazing. And
I would compare it to your guys' toffee pudding. That's the closest thing you can get to Malva, but better than toffee pudding.
it was the best. And I ate
Yeah.
that sucker like every single night, because everywhere we went, but then I was like, after everybody has it. I was like, I want some of that, and it was really good. I loved the jam on it. It was really good, and it's people saying you need to try something else. I was like, I really like it. I want to eat that.
So you just had Malva.
So we were there for 10 days, and I probably had it 9 out of the 10 days. It was absolutely delicious.
Well, you enjoyed it at least.
The first day I didn't know what to order, but overall, it was a really great experience. And being in South Africa probably was one of my most amazing vacations and times there. And I worked at the time there with Nestle, and we researched croquette mix, and it was just a really fun time. But this is all about you. So let's talk a little bit about your background. So there's one thing you always talk about. So when people started following you, you talk a lot about challenging the industry beliefs. So I wanna have a conversation around that, because you constantly talk about pushing back against narratives. So talk to us a little bit. Where did that come from, and how is that working for you?
I think growing up, I've also just seen a lot of how food industry, especially here in South Africa, operates. And being now a part of that, I've seen so many disruptors besides myself, people that have really been trailblazers even before myself. And most of them being of color. And a lot of the Michelin star chef restaurants have a lot of South African chefs as well across the globe. It's just that in South Africa, we don't really get graded like that. So I think we've got a huge plethora of foods and a huge You've got options. You've really got options in Cape Town, in Joburg, any city in
Yeah.
Durban. We're all known for our different types of cuisines, and it's so diverse. And adding young people to that diversity and to that authenticity of the food that we present as South Africans, as diverse it is, it's just a beautiful thing to see. And a lot of people love the food that we cook.
I love that. So, and then
Mm.
also, if our audience dives in a little bit deeper on your teachings and what you do, I don't, you know, you're above average handsome. Okay. You could have done so many things. Why did you go?
True.
But, um, I honestly feel that food was supposed to be something you want to do or something you attach with because you talk a lot about that and you talk a lot about, you know what, there was some setbacks and you need to turn those things.
Mm.
Can you talk to us a little bit? You talked about, you know, that whole mission model. Help our audience to understand a little bit more about it and how did you redirect your life to open those doors?
Wow. Okay. So I've always been a very academic child. I was just raised that way. So had those high marks, all of that. And came to a point in grade 10, you're supposed to choose your subjects, what you want. You're thinking towards your life trajectory.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, what do I like to do? Yes, I could just do random sciences or math or something, but what do I actually want? And I think my mom really honed in and said, do what you feel is good for you and just build off of that. And she's always been supportive in that way, even though she's very much an academic too. So I was really surprised at that. And from there, I was like, okay, what's the bridge between, okay, I'm good at cooking, I'm good at a lot of things, but cooking is something I know I'm really good at, but I wouldn't want to be a chef. But then I'm great at sciences and maths and all of that. Why not do food science and doing consumer studies, which I think you guys call it home economics?
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm.
We had that. We were doing that, and I realized that I actually like it. Was a bit of advanced for the class, yes, but I enjoyed that type of thing of showing my talents and also understanding how food works. And this was around 16, around 17. I said, okay, let me start my catering. This is COVID time as well, so I was like,
Mhm.
okay, let's start like making meal plans and just making content. You have so much time on your hands, and that's what I started doing. And to which I then started B Cuisine, which is a company I started at that time, and I still do it, just more part time now, given the huge
Mhm.
calendar. But from there, I kept on growing, kept on growing. Did a few diplomas in nutritional sciences and health sciences because at some point I also wanted to do dietetics.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, health is something also like, but I don't want to definitely be a doctor. It's going to be a lot of pressure for me. Let me do something that is between that food and between that human sciences. And that's when I did that and found food science. And that is what I still study till today.
I love that. And
Yeah,
um, first of all, I think that's amazing that you kind of found out what you want to do. And then
definitely.
I I want to talk about something else because you talk a lot about the whole resilience and you call it resilience in the
Mhm.
waiting period. Because as you didn't hear back from the TV show back in 2023, that you talk about and you call it you were disheartened. Can you talk to us a
Mhm.
little bit? How
That
did you
experience.
stay motivated for that, and how do you or where did that come from?
Wow. Okay. I think that type of rejection. I did enter two smaller cooking shows, brand based cooking shows, and I was like, okay,
Yeah.
I want to do something. I need to just show that I can cook. Get my name out there. And I didn't get any callback or anything, and I was just like so sad. Like, what? I put so much effort in my video. I wrote my essays, everything. And then MasterChef was going to announce that they were going to have auditions and all. And I was like, okay, let's just submit it. If I'm just throwing it out there, and if I get it, I don't. And I'm like, I've gone through the motions already. I'll be fine. And I did. And I did battle with myself on whether to even send it. I even have like videos of that whole journey of me saying, oh, guys, I'm about to click the button. Am I going to submit it? So it was really that type of journey of I didn't know what was going to happen, but I'm so glad it did. And went through to all the stages to eventually we're now doing the last audition stage
Mhm.
and we were cooking for spots, and I'm glad I got through. And from then on I just kept going through the challenges. Was it hard? Very. I was at the bottom for the first challenge, let's just say. So that was quite a humbling experience, but then you rose to the top over and over. You'll be at the bottom, then you go to the top, and you be at the bottom, and then you're in the middle sometimes, but I'm glad I'm at the top at the end.
I I love that, and there's also something you talk about, and maybe you can help our audience learn a little bit more because you won the Alan Gray Orbis Award as the
Okay.
scholarship at the time. So
Yes.
can you talk to us a little bit? How was the interest that transitioning for you? Because you ran, didn't you run a small catering business at the time?
Yes, I did. I was 17 at the time, and I
Yeah,
said, let me take a gap year. Now I'd finished my matric, high school. I'm like, okay, let me take a gap year, figure out if this food science thing is definitely what I want to do. And, I don't want to get tired of what I do or hate
yeah,
my degree later. So I was like, okay, let's just chill. Let's see what we're going to do. And in that year, I decided to enter my business for a scholarship, full ride and everything. And I got it, and I was so happy. It was such a full turn moment. And the nice thing about that bursary is entrepreneurial based. So they're constantly making you learn and keeping you on your feet. And you're balancing school and entrepreneurship at the same time. You get access to funding, all these amazing things that any young adult that wants to do successful things would want.
yeah. I love that. I love
Mhm.
that you said entrepreneurship because it's this
Yes.
whole thing. Hey, I want to be an entrepreneur because I don't want to work just 40 hours. I want to work 80 hours because
It's true. You do look a lot more. You definitely do.
um, also when people start following you, they start learning a lot about how your whole beliefs, kind of the whole philosophy, how that evolved. So can you talk to us a little bit because you once said that you always thought, hey, if you work really hard, there's success is guaranteed. You know, how has that evolved over time, and what are some of the new beliefs which brings you into the career that you have now?
Ooh, well, definitely, I think when you have that belief system of, oh, work hard and success will come, sometimes it takes a lot longer than you even anticipate. And even through the MasterChef journey, there were points where I was like, I don't even know what I'm doing at this point. Like, this is hard, or I'm giving up so much. What if I don't make it and I lose literally everything? I was gambling a lot during that
Hmm.
time. Not literally, but like with my school and with the MasterChef thing, So yeah, it was really that catch 22 of, okay, I literally could lose a bursary, I could lose this school, what,
Hmm.
and then what? But I'm so glad I did because I realized that sometimes, yes, hard work is one thing, but you do need to also put yourself out there. Don't be
Yeah.
scared to do the impossible. And yes, you will fail. I mean, how many times did I fail? And mind you, there was also another bursary that I actually didn't get, and I was close to getting for culinary school, which was a
Yeah.
blessing in disguise because had I gone to culinary school, I would not be qualified to make a
Correct.
master.
I honestly believe there's so many different things we kind of fall into, and when you look back, I
And
think
it's
there
like,
was a setup more than
okay,
anything else. It wasn't a setback. So for me, that's amazing. So, but before we move on, so you said that whole that whole philosophy. So if you would run into your younger self, what would you say yourself about that? Hey, if you work hard, you definitely guaranteed success. How did that belief change you?
what I would say to my younger self, to be honest, as much as the journey was a bit hard at sometimes, I don't
Yeah,
think I would really, really change it because in that hardship or in that overthinking and overanalyzing what your next play or next move is going to be, you find so much creativity. And I found my niche in that. So, yes, there's hard work, but in that hard work, you need to find exactly who you are or what is going to make you stand out as well. Because, yes, you can work hard, you can work for other people
yeah.
and work hard. But when you find what works for you and you know that eventually, whatever the result is going to be, I'm going to be happy, you've given it your best shot. I think there's a level of reward that comes with it.
I love that. I love that. And I'm 100% agree. And also you talk a lot about the whole handling of labels and projection because you mentioned that how easy it was for originally for some people's judgment to kind of take hold of you. So but you said there was some tools and mindset shifts you had which helped you protect not just who you are and if it was something which helped you stay really authenticity wise
Yes,
which is not easy in a high pressure environment. So
yes, true.
how did that all work? Because it sounds easy what you went through, but it's not an easy thing,
It's not
you know?
easy. It's something that you do have to compartmentalize. I would say for me, that's what I did. That's how I work. But of course, other people do feel things a lot more and can't really necessarily compartmentalize. But for me, I found that okay, there's this label. You're the youngest. You're a young, very very young Black woman. What exactly is your story going to be?
Hmm.
What are people thinking about you? And you often think about what people will perceive you as, and it's like okay, but I know myself, and I know how much effort it took for me to even be in the same room as these people. They're
Yeah.
probably more. But then being on MasterChef, I was like, these people have been cooking for like, what? Penny's been cooking for 40 something years, literally. And it's just me here with my little. Yes, I've been cooking since childhood, but it's not the same. There isn't that level of full experimentation, or you haven't seen the entire world of flavors. So it was really that thing of seeing, okay, but I am in this room with these people that are qualified probably by years. What
Hmm.
makes you special enough to be in this room? Okay, you can cook in this way. And that's when I was like, let me hone into my niche. I'm not going to fully change myself. Of course, you have to adapt your cooking styles. I did definitely. You have to make sure it's meticulous, minimalistic, all those amazing things that you want on the
Yeah.
plating experience. Flavor wise, you want it to be more complex. So there was a lot of that adaptation. But then it was also like, I'm still staying true to my roots personally and to the roots of also other people that I hope to inspire as well
Yeah.
in my food, especially culturally speaking.
I love that. And by the way, you made it sound easy. Oh, I just, So
No, it's not.
give us maybe a mindset shift or a tool which you still go back to today saying, hey, this is what helped me.
What helped me? I honestly was praying a lot. I was praying a lot, and I would play my music in the morning, tell myself everything I need to hear about myself, that I'm this person. Bridget, you're amazing. Bridget, you can cook. They don't know nothing. They've got nothing on you. And God knows they did. But you have to tell yourself that so you feel it. Sometimes you do have to feel somewhat invincible.
Yeah. I absolutely love that. And
Yeah,
maybe for
encourage
our
yourself.
audience, yeah, so you make it sound so easy, you know, because I wanna learn a little bit more about that. So because there's so many people which want to be on a cooking show, especially cooking
Yeah.
competition or something as big as MasterChef. So talk to us a little bit. How was that journey for you? What was the biggest takeaway? Because first of all, it was, if any of our listeners, by the way, are listening, you guys got to go and check out the episode. It's amazing what you did. And, and it was also cool. And for me, as I started looking you up and going, I was like, how can you be? She doesn't even cook 10 years yet. And but it's for me, cooking is like riding a bicycle, you know?
True.
It comes
True.
on about feel. What is your history? And what I love more than anything about your food is when the food was like, oh my God, this is such a great idea. And it had that piece of you in it. So, but talk to us a
Definitely.
little bit about how was it getting on the show? Because it must have been really intimidating.
It was intimidating, of course, as you mentioned, that I don't have as many years to cooking as other people do. I was the youngest on the show. I was 20, turning 20 at the time, actually.
Mhm.
So it was like, okay, I'm like literally going to be the youngest. That's all I was thinking. Like, okay, imagine I'm the youngest. That was so cute. But I never thought I would even get this far. Honestly, my goal was just let me get my business name out. Let me get myself name, put myself out there. That was it. But as you go, you begin to also believe in yourself a lot more. And you're like, okay, but I've made it past this round. Okay, but I've made it past this next round. Now I'm at the top 10. Okay, let's do it. And then you begin to feel more and more confident because also, I think also I'm just genuinely a person that if a pattern is going really well, I'm not going to really let it deter me. But of course, there were times then I would be from the top right to the bottom or vice
Mhm.
versa. But you do need to be like, okay, it's just one day. You're only good as your last dish, as many chefs say. You are literally that. And you don't need to judge yourself based on whatever horrible things you cooked yesterday. It's about what you're going to put forward.
I love that. And by the way, I watched the episode. So can you talk to us? There was one episode in particular which was difficult for you. Can you talk to us a little bit about that one?
If we're talking about the knife experience, right? Probably. Oh,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, I was showing off my knife skills a bit too much, and that knife slipped on me, literally. And yeah, I won't lie, it was quite a traumatic experience. But when I look at it, it's like, okay, but I actually got through that. That's
I know.
crazy. And even the rate at which I was healing was insane. Sometimes I really feel like it wasn't just me there.
Mm.
My thumb was literally severed off, and it's back together now. So yeah,
So thumbs up. So
thumbs
um,
up.
for our audience which wants to do something, can you tell us a little bit what was your biggest takeaway from overall from the show?
Overall, from the show, there's so many takeaways, but one thing I'll definitely say is the learning aspect. Even
Mm.
through the MasterChef journey, I was always reading. I treated it kind of like I was in the biggest exam of my life. Basically, I was literally absorbing as much as I can. If I see someone has tried something new, I'm wanting to know what it is, how, which way. Wanting to always improve those skills and thinking creatively, definitely the creativity. If it sounds crazy, why not just figure a way around that crazy, even if it doesn't make sense in someone else's head? And there were many times the judges were like, what is Bridget doing? This is not making sense now. But were they happy? Yes.
That's awesome. So help us look a little bit into the future. What is a thing you work? So maybe before we start this, so can you tell our audience a little bit, besides what you do, what is your current business?
Current business is I'm doing some cooking classes and I'm trying to launch a cooking show. Trying.
Yeah.
So fingers
I
crossed.
by the way, I think that's amazing, and
Yes,
I
I love
hope.
talking to people, honestly.
Yeah, and I love that about you because I think you made for this. If anybody tells you to do something else, tell them to pucker off.
They're
Okay.
lying, right? True.
So
Definitely.
so now tell us a little bit. What are you working on for the next 6 months on Bridget? What does she need to get better? And then talk to us a little bit. What are you working on your business?
On the personal aspect and in terms of food related on the personal aspect, I think I'm working on finding that love again for exploring food.
Mm,
I think after the MasterChef journey, I was also kind of in a state of, okay, this has just happened. And I'm like recovering as well, mentally speaking. And it's like, did this really happen? It feels like a dream because then you have to keep this a secret for like 6 months.
yeah, I
So
know.
I was like, did this really happen? And and you then forget I was ordering a lot of takeout, let's just say. I was ordering a lot of takeout. So, but yeah, but after that, I think I was just like, okay, let me find the love of cooking again. Let me start buying those new ingredients like how I used to, and I'm falling back in love with it. I'm really glad I'm finding new creative ideas and changing things up a bit in terms of my niche as well. So you're going to see new things as well. What you saw
Mm,
on the show was one thing, but you'll see some new little additions to it. And in terms of the cooking show, I really wanted to incorporate a lot of my essence, the part of
yeah.
talking to people where it's not just about, okay, add the sugar, add the butter. No, I want it to be about actual live conversations with whatever guest speaker you'll have on the show. But
Hmm.
there should be that element of speaking about real life, real things as young people that we like to also watch and know and get advice from people that have done it all. Sometimes you want that. And why not in the form of a cooking show, like a literal, cooking show where you can talk about things that matter
Yeah.
and food science aspects as well.
Because I think that piece is very fascinating, especially to younger folks. Because I see it with my kids. They how come milk doesn't curdle, but cream does? What's going
You
on there?
know,
You know?
what's the
Eh,
difference?
Yes, and they really fascinated about that. So, but what are you working on your business for the next 6 months?
Business wise is continuing the cooking classes and collaborating also with some bigger chefs as well. I'm going to be doing a few with some MasterChef contestants that I was with. So that's going to be so much fun and it'll be a really great reunion type of thing. And hopefully we're going to do a lot of culturally more cooking shows that are very cultural
Hmm.
identified. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, by the
Yeah.
way, I'm absolutely fascinated with what you do and how you look at food. It's absolutely unique. I absolutely love that.
Thank you.
So, but before we go, I want to ask you first. We have a little trick question for you, but we hold it
Okay.
off. But we want to play something called Rapid Fire Question Food Service Edition. So, I want to see if you're up for that. But
Let's
before we
go.
do this, can you talk to our audience a little bit? Where can they learn more about you? Where can they learn more about Chef Bridget?
I say that you can learn a lot from me via my social media. As much as I
Mm,
don't put fully about my story, I think you can learn a lot about my personality. I have a small little dog that I absolutely adore. She's with my mom right now, though. But yeah, you get to see a little tidbits about myself. Of course, you've got the official story on every newspaper, but sometimes you just want to also see what makes a person human,
Mhm.
yeah. Mm.
I
And
love
I
that.
hope that just inspire a lot of people. I think sharing my story on more younger platforms is definitely what I want to aim for now.
Mhm.
Going to schools is something I'm also wanting to do, and talk to those matriculants, talk to those grade 10s that are like, what do I want to do with my life? And I'm not saying go into cooking, but it's about finding your route, finding what your destiny is. Because I
Mhm.
never knew this was mine, but well, lo and behold.
I love all of that. I think more than anything, I think it's your mindset. It's who you are as a
Mm,
person, the way you look at food. For me, it's absolutely amazing, and I love
that's so
watching
kind.
you. And
Thank
we fell in love with you. So, but now we play rapid fire questions, and to our listeners, um, so we have 78 questions, and we filter through based on who is we gonna interview. And I
you.
ask my team, make it really hard, make it really hard, make it like South African hard. So we,
Well, I hope I pass. Now I'm going to be on pressure. Now, what are
now,
they going to say
now,
when they watch this?
now this is just like the show. This is no pressure. So a little fun fact around this thing. So we gotten rid of the rapid fire question just about at the end of last year. And our audience came, you need to ask the questions again. I was like, what are they talking about? We asking
Mm.
questions. That's the whole thing. And I said, no, the thing you do on the end. I was like, what are we doing at the end? And so we had some really hard questions, and it was hard to, and we kind of evolved. So now we have 25 questions, and that's based on your background and your things you said. So
Okay.
we using AI in that, but it's simple. It says yes or no, and why? Because we want to know why no or
Why?
why yes.
Okay.
So are
Shoot.
you I'm playing rapid fire question, food service edition? Okay, awesome. Give me a number between 1 and 25.
We can do 15.
15. Oh, should brunch be served 24/7? No questions asked. Yes or no, and why?
Okay, mimosas can be served until like 3 p.m. or something, let's just say.
I,
But
I don't see why you're going straight to the mimosa. But
because everyone wants that. So,
okay,
I don't know.
anybody listening, there's so much more to brunch than mimosa, but I'm with you.
True, true. As a chef, I'm wrong for that. It's true. But no, brunch, okay, brunch can be served, it can't be served for 24 hours straight, no.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. You're spot on. So give me another number between 1 and 25.
17.
17. Should you drink soup from a champagne flute? Just to mess with your guest. Yes or no, and why?
No. Why would you want hot soup in a champagne? Won't it break the champagne glass, actually? So, no.
I love that. Give me a number between 1 and 25.
7.
7. Ooh. Would you wear pajamas while making food just to make it taste better? Yes or no, and why?
I mean, if I'm at home, I do cook in my pajamas. So, yes. Sometimes
Is
the creativity comes when you're tired too. Hey, sometimes the best meals come when you're actually so tired and you're like, I need something delicious, and you're hungry. So, yeah.
Okay. You left yourself open to a lot of questions. I will not ask them, but I agree with you. I'll give you a number between 1 and 25.
Mm, 10.
10. Should should all food served with a surprised ingredient just to mess with the guest? Yes or no, and why?
Should all food have a surprise ingredient?
Yes.
Yeah, I think so. It makes things interesting, hey? As a chef, you want something that is gonna be like, oh, what was that? Is that miso? Whoa.
Yeah,
Da, 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 da.
thank you.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling me, "Oh, you can't do that because who
Unless
knows
like
what's gonna
someone
go
is
in it."
allergic potentially, but
Yeah, I'm with you because I everybody says, "Oh, why would you do this?" Yeah, well, who knows what they put in it? And I look at it, "Ooh, who knows what's in it?" It's just I think the way you look at
yeah,
it.
it's part of the
I'm with you.
experience.
I'm with you. Bring it on. Bring it
Mhm.
on. Okay,
Let's
give
do
me number.
question three. Question three.
Give me a number between 1 and 25.
Three.
3. Ooh, I don't know why you got all the questions with cocktails in it. Okay, is it okay to serve a cocktail in your cereal bowl just to have fun with your guest? Yes or no, and why?
You know what? Sometimes, desperate times, what if you don't have champagne glasses or cocktail glasses? You just gotta do what you gotta do, hey?
Right on, right
So,
on.
yeah,
Okay,
definitely.
last question between 1 and 25.
18.
18. Oh, is it okay to eat your dessert before dinner and call it reverse dining? Yes or no, and why?
Yes, because what if my sweet tooth came before dinner and I want something salty to end the night off? Sometimes I do that, okay? So,
I agree.
I don't
I
know.
agree with you. But didn't mom tell you eat your food first before you eat dessert?
No, not
And that
really, hey?
and that completes rapid fire question. Food service edition. That was awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, no, that was
First off,
fun.
Miss Bridget, there's 3 things I absolutely love about you. The first thing is I love the way you look at food. It's just you should have had won this at episode 2, so you don't need to cut your finger. Okay, but
Yeah.
I think that was awesome. The other thing
Mm.
is um, you have that innate ability to let hard things roll off your back. You take life. I don't want to call it easy, but you have that really positive side on you. And then
No,
third thing, and
definitely.
most of all, I think you're an amazing human being. And if any of our listeners have the opportunity to check out what you do and how you're looking at food, I think they also will fall in love with you.
I
So
hope so, definitely.
if not, they're doing it wrong. Um, so, but before we go, I have 2 other questions for you.
Shoot.
If you were given the opportunity to meet the 17-year-old you, what would you give yourself as advice?
You know, I actually have something. When I was younger, I wrote myself letters for the future,
Hmm.
literally, and my mom kept them all these years. Some have been lost in moves, but some of them are there. And I think one thing I would say to 17-year-old self is focus, but also just have fun. I sometimes
Yeah.
wish I had a lot of fun when I was younger because I think I put a lot of pressure on myself, generally speaking, because,
Hmm.
you never point your parents and all that stuff. But I wish I had more fun when I was younger because now I can't mess up.
I know
Literally.
growing up is terrible. I don't know whoever
Yes.
started
Now,
that.
if I mess up, it looks like, what were you thinking? Not, oh,
Yeah,
she's just dumb.
because I would tell if still could, I still would live with my parents because it's the best
Yeah.
thing ever. Don't move out.
Literally. Don't, guys. I mean, I moved back now because it's fun. No bills.
Uh-huh. So now let's do the opposite. What was the best advice you ever gotten you never acted on?
I never acted. Can I tell you one that I acted on?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. I think the best advice that I ever got was the world can be your oyster. And I think I said it was my closing phrase on MasterChef,
You
actually. And
did.
it's something my
Mhm.
mom has always said it. The world can be your oyster. What do you mean you can't do it? The world can be your oyster. She would always say it. And it's literally so true. And I'm glad that it's gotten to this point where I can say check box to something. And even if it hadn't gone my way, I think I would feel honestly still satisfied that I made it that far and I
Mhm.
still got to make so many people proud in that process. And in that, I know that. I mean, I want to be on TV again, so hopefully that happens again. And
Yeah.
through that, it's a platform. Everything is always a platform to something bigger. And believing in yourself and advice-wise, I think I've just always gotten such positive advice from home, and it's pushed me in so many ways.
It's amazing. And I know you refer to your mom a lot. So
Yes,
I know she was really big, not just an idol, but she was a really big person in your
so
whole life. And that's absolutely amazing.
absolutely. She has always just been there. And yeah, she will be my mom a lot of the time. But, there's so much love in those words at the end of the day.
Yeah, I totally agree. And then also, if mom is listening, mom, go to bed. Okay. It's late. Go to bed. Um, but I want to say thanks for being here today. Thanks for the
Thank you
gift
so
of your
much.
time. And
It was
it's
so
very
fun.
late for you, but it's like 1 o'clock in the morning. So I really appreciate you being here with us today. And so the way this is working is we're going to send this out, and then you will get some notification on what's going on, and you can
Okay.
have full use of the episode, whatever you need.
Awesome. I'll post it up.
For that.
Definitely. That would be
Yeah.
lovely. Thank you
Now,
so much. It
I
was so fun.
absolutely love the conversation. So we need a 2.0 of this conversation because I want to know
Yes.
what's next. And if you do get a TV show, if they don't give you a TV show, come to America. The South
Yes, I
Africans
will
doing it
come. I'll
wrong.
gladly come. Hey.
Yeah, they're just doing it wrong. If they don't give you the show, they're just doing it wrong.
Thank
And
you.
for me, please don't ever lose that fun side about you and
Yeah.
that fun about food, because for me, food is the great equalizer. And
Find yourself.
my audience knows I have internationally adopted children, and for me, it was so satisfying seeing. I had no idea what they were saying, but the first we meal had together, I realized that food takes all the stuff away because the kids weren't scared. They were just enjoying the food and enjoying the company. And for me, that's what food is.
It is. It really is. And when you do come to South Africa, I hope to cook you an amazing meal.
I have a good idea for a dessert.
Yeah.
It's this
Don't say
thing.
malva pudding. Please, not
It was,
malva
it was
pudding.
so good. It was so good. And then the other great thing is when you take it home, leftover, it's still good the next day. It's really good. I love that.
I mean, it's really good. It never gets old. What about amarula malva pudding? I think you'll like that.
Oh,
Like that. And with
you are
caramel on
on.
top.
You
Something.
now. I have no food here, but I really appreciate it. So I just want to say thanks for being here today, and thanks for being really honest with some of your questions with our audience. So I
No,
really,
thank you.
really
It was lovely.
appreciate
It was refreshing as well to have a different set of questions, a different type of interview. Definitely. It was
it. Yeah.
so
So
much fun.
our intent is we want to make sure we know everything about you, and we knew about the finger, we knew about the knife, and
I'm still on the 10-week stalking. Okay. Just saying, hey?
and this was really awesome, and I really, really appreciate it. And thanks for the gift of your time. And we definitely need to do a 2.0. So now for our audience, if you haven't done so, make sure you like today's episode. Please click the notification bell so you know the next time we have a new episode. And then please, in the notification below, talk to us a little bit. What was one or two things which you absolutely loved about this conversation today? And also, if you have any questions we need to ask on episode 2, we would love that. So until next time, remember to disrupt your kitchen, fire up your career, stay hungry for change. I'm Christian. I'm here with Chef Bridget, and we are out of here. We are signing off. So be the change, be the challenge, and be the chef who sets the world on fire. And then go out, everybody, and just be disruptive, everybody. Thanks for being here today.